Skin's Digital Marketing Specialist, Faith Garcia, and New Skin Brand Director, Zen Lagumbay.
Very pleased to welcome all of you here tonight. Welcome everyone to Stop the Clock, an anti-aging innovation talk with Dr. Chang. So Zen, you look so pretty and young as always. Do you guys agree with me? Yeah! She's really a product of the product.
Thank you very much for that, and you as well, Faith. And I'm pretty sure everyone here in this room would actually agree with me that you have a resemblance with a Filipino actress. Tignan nyo mabuti sa mga nanonood ng TV. Okay?
Filipino, akala ko international.
Mali pala yung peg ko. I believe, if you look at Faith right now, you would see that she has a close resemblance with Maha Salvador. Tama ba? Tama ba?
Pero you know what, I don't think I can, do her dance skills and all. Kasi hindi ko kaya ganun-ganon.
Well, anyway, you know what, Faith? And for most of you who are here, we really take pride on how amazing new skin products are and how it helps you maintain youthful look.
That's right, Zen. And for those of you who are first-timers and for those of you who do not know yet about the ageLOC brand, that is the flagship product line of Nu Skin, which we are going to be unveiling tonight. It's a flagship brand that really targets the ultimate sources of aging. So it doesn't just temporarily address skin or health concerns because it targets the genes.
I agree with you. And I believe every single one in this room would agree with me as well that everyone would need an anti-aging product. Is that right? Sino ba ditong gustong tumanda? Wala. Who here wants to stay younger and look younger every single year? There's still right. I'm pretty sure of that, right? But we're not just talking about topical, topical benefits that will just give us a very short term, but rather we have ageLOC that has the right ingredient then to target the sources of aging.
Zen, what's your favorite ageLOC product ba?
To be honest, I have two favorite products. I have ageLOC Lumispas, one of my ultimate favorites.
That's my favorite too.
I use it twice a day because it gives me that radiant look, more supple skin, mas luminous yung effect niya. I used to have big pores. Right now it's tightened. But more than that, I really also like the ageLOC Body Galvanic Spa.
Who here likes ageLOC Lumispa? Ang dami!
Of course, for those of you who doesn't know ageLOC Lumispa yet, you're gonna be hearing more of that later on.
And of course, to give us further details about the latest innovation in ageLOC, let us all watch this video.
What happens when product books. So you could spend hours talking about this. It's really amazing.
Put your hands together for Dr. Chang.
No, people in the back. Yes. Coming in? Okay, can you hear me now? Yes. Talk this way. Well, good evening. How are you? My goodness. I mean, I'll do anything for New Skin, including that. I never is very popular. It's very popular in the Philippines, huh? It's the same thing. I just finished watching the Oscar. I think they do similar things like that too. Well, I'm so glad to be back in the Philippines. Seeing all of you. From what I can see over the last 12, maybe a year and a half, Philippines has gotten a lot of energy and you've grown. Thank you. Congratulations. You have created, for example, I think the last time I checked, you have the largest number of team elites from the Philippines in your history. So that is a clear indication that you're going places here in this market, and I'm so proud of all of you. Yeah. You guys do realize you're the prettiest Southeast Asians I've seen. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's that mixture from your history, all together that comes together to create this perfect blend. It's almost like how I put all our H-Rock products together. It's great. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Louis Spa, obviously, and I don't know whether I'm going to share some future secrets with you. We'll think. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. And but as you all know, we continue to innovate, and really innovation for the company is all about making sure that we can attack this so-called beauty market, which is approaching, as you can tell, 2025 is not too far away. We're going to hit a market that's worth $1 trillion. That's a huge one, and I think many of you, since you're all here, you were exposed, or you are exposed to this new business opportunity program that we call Velocity, right? Yeah. So, and I think what we're trying to do is to support that new program, which is seeing a lot of success in every market, not just here in the Philippines, and it's trying to say how we can support it and take it to the next level. It's showing so many signs of successes in every market. I still think it's not perfect, but coupled with such a market that is like 4 times towards $1 trillion, I think the math is pretty simple. It creates a lot of financial rewards for all of you to participate in this business. Now, we also try and do what we call analytics, and that is to sub-segment or segment the beauty product category into subcategories. And if you look at this chart, and you sort of say immediately, you say, okay, we should enter the beauty category or the subcategory that is the largest, you would be gravitating towards the one in the middle that is like skincare, $124 billion, all right? So these are all in US dollars. So you would think that's a good thing to do. But when you analyze the data a bit deeper, what you find is that it is not a rapidly growing category. In other words, it's fairly mature. So entering a market as mature doesn't make quite good sense, economic sense, to start developing a lot of products in that category. What you want to do is to go for a category that looks at the face value fairly small, and that's the one all the way towards the right, at the top right-hand corner, that says personal beauty devices. You look at it and say, oh, it's only $2 billion. It's not, how big can you be? But the further analysis would indicate to us is growing at a very rapid rate. It's almost like 50% CAGR. For some of you who are not in business, this is the rate of growth, all right? That tells us how rapidly and how meaningful a category is going to be over the next few years. And that is why we do things like LumiSpa, really. Is to make sure to see, if we enter it now, we can become such a market leader that, that we can dominate. Because dominating a market is much better than being a small player in a sort of perceived to be a big market like the skincare. So that's why we're in this beauty device business. Now, many of you, and you've heard Helen and you've heard Mark and so on, and those are the scientists, and we sort of talk about innovation in new skin. Yeah. We talk about our science, we talk about how great our innovation is to generate products. Fundamentally, you come to realize that every company can talk. If you sit down and you say, wait a minute, let me be a bit more skeptical what Joe is talking about, you have every right to be that, because every company is going to say, I'm the most innovative company around, I'm going to be science-based and so on. The challenge is, talk is cheap. Everybody talks, right? So, because it's free. The key is whether you can convert that talk to action. And that is whether you can actually do science and not just say science. That's perhaps the difference in new skin. You know, don't take my word for it in terms of what we do in science and how innovative we are. What you should be asking for is the evidence. And this is the type of evidence I'm sharing with you, is to see that whether you would agree with me based on evidence and data, not based on just what I say. Right? That's the only way we can differentiate ourselves, because once again, our products and our science and our innovation is meant to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to drive your business. Right? New skin is different relative to your traditional companies and conventional companies in the simple premise that new skin is a company that had been and has been and will be a company created by distributors, for distributors, and with distributors. That is the fundamental difference in new skin. Whatever we do in the products, like what I'm going to focus on tonight, is really for all of you, because after all, new skin is nothing without you. That's the difference. So, when we talk about science, we have our great scientific team, we have over 75 scientists and so on. You know, that's true, but we are not proud, so proud, that we do not leverage, because you understand leverage in new skin, right? And direct selling is all about leverage. So we leverage in science too, and how we leverage is through the universities and all the research, external research institutes. Yeah, we do that, because that's where we get our scientific insights and the new knowledge to create better and more powerful products. But that's not all. Because in addition to that, we are also always on the lookout for technologies that we can bring into the company. So our innovation engine, if you will, is an engine that's driven internally and also at the same time externally. Is that powerful? It's how we drive. It's about the engine. Yeah. Because it's about doing. You have, I mean, I've sort of watched Formula One, and it's sort of interesting on a documentary. You can have the greatest looking racing car, but if the engine doesn't perform, it will never get anywhere. Right? And that's the reason for our innovation. So in order to do that, we've built this facility in Provo, excuse me, and this is a $200 million building.
Wow.
Why do we do that? We don't have to. We can build a hut, and we call it our research center, right? But this is once again an example of a demonstration of the doing the science. Because we can't do science in this day and age without a state-of-the-art labs and with a state-of-the-art facility. And that's why we built this innovation center in Provo to the tune of $200 million.
Wow.
Very few companies can do that. I've seen a lot of companies come, and it's like a comet in the sky. They flash, it's bright, but it disappears just as quickly. Right? So Nu Skin, I mean, you've gone through, many of you are almost veterans in Nu Skin, and you appreciate the fact that we have been around. Yes, we're not perfect, but we are around for you because we want to make sure that we create, or at least we offer you, a sustainable business opportunity. That's the key operative word. You know, we're not here to create something that's just a flash in the sky and it passes just quickly. It's supposed to be a sustainable one. And our products, you know, being what they are, I hope it's a mechanism that can drive towards that sustainability. Because after all, when you look at our products, overall, our products are created to the level that we want it to be, because fundamentally and personally, I want to make sure that our products will never, ever embarrass you. You know, that's the important thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the person will finally join you as a business leader, but at least as a consumer, when you meet that person again a few years later or whatever, those products have done some good, and you do not need to avert your eyes when you see this person. That's the reason why we create our products. And that's not all. We also have another research center in China, in Shanghai. Because frankly, I have some doubts about the Chinese. Not because they're not nice people, okay? It's just on some of the things that we have found time and time again, some of our raw materials that we get are not raw materials that we actually expect of their quality. So we want to make sure that when we buy something in China, we have a facility that can truly give us the reliable results, that the raw materials are clean and pure. Because what we cannot do during product development is to use an impure, a contaminated raw material and expect to convert that to a great product. If I put garbage in, I will get garbage out. It doesn't matter how powerful my engine is in the middle. And that's why we have this research center in China to supplement and to complement what we have in the US. Let's talk about this LumiSpa. All of you have used the LumiSpa? Yes. All of you have one? Yes. Oh, really? Oh, that's great. Hey, no wonder you look so pretty. Not the ladies, I'm referring to the guys. Anyway, so you've experienced it. Fundamentally, we are trying, as I mentioned to you at the very beginning, that business personal beauty device category. We are trying to dominate that market. So this was a device that we have launched since the Galvanic Spa to make sure that we continue to grow our presence and penetration of that category. To date, we have sold over 1 million
Wow.
Of these really thanks to all of you. All right, so we can starting to see, the fruits of our efforts as far as this device is concerned. So let's talk a bit more about it. It's based on this insight, and this insight is fairly simple. So we bought a Clarisonic. You know what I'm talking about? That brush cleaner. So we bought one, and we looked at it, and I said, Helen, why don't you put it on your face? And we turn it on and put it on the face, and we take it, and Helen started to turn a bit red on the skin. And I said, gee, really? This is only a brush. And then when we look at it, and we took it and tried to wash off some of the makeup, we couldn't. So there were two things that were rather disturbing to us as far as trying to develop something similar to a brush technology cleansing device. And that is the inability to clean it effectively and the inability not to damage the skin or to damage sensitive skin. So we were thinking, all right, maybe it's something that we can do. So we said we got to get away from the brush, and after many years of looking at this particular technology, and this is a technology that uses counter rotation, we were happy that this is a good thing, and this is what we're going to talk about, this LumiSpa, I'll use a fancy term, micro-pulse oscillation technology. What it means, it rotates in opposite directions. I don't know, scientists are really, arrogant people. They think they can understand if they use big, big words. All right, so that's what it is, this MPO. So I'll show you a video of this. And fundamentally, all it describes is the fact that the middle bit obviously rotates clockwise, and the other one goes the opposite direction. All right? So that's what it does. The reason we want one part of it to go in the opposite direction relative to the other is because we find when we apply this in our scientific studies to skin cells, we actually got these skin cells to produce anti-aging proteins. We're starting to stimulate that. We're tickling them in a happy way. It's starting. So we say this is a great insight, discovery. And that's why we stuck to it. All right? So, and then when we have finished working on this, we say, okay, what about the other bit, that brush damage thing? You might have seen this video, but I thought it's worth showing you. So we're comparing brush technology both in a vibrating mode and in oscillating mode versus our LumiSpa. Can we play the video? So here's the vibrating one, right? Oh, here's the rotating one. There's a lot of jello. That's jello. And jello has the same consistency as human skin. So there's a vibrating head. That's a type of direct data that we can produce and say why we think our sort of non-brush based technology is superior. And you can see from this, and you can see a lot of the jello was damaged with brush technology, but not with our LumiSpa. So let's look at the cleanliness. So here is what we did, because I already mentioned and hinted to you that the brush is awfully difficult to clean. So what we did was to use some fluorescent makeup on somebody's face, and remove it with a brush and also with the LumiSpa and say how well or how effective can we be to wash it off. So when it's white, like at the top, it shows you essentially both in the side view and the front view that the bright stuff, which is the makeup, is so difficult to wash it off. It was impossible, almost. And in a way, when I think back now, it's not that surprising. Because do you guys paint your houses sometimes? Maybe you don't. You guys are so successful, you probably hire somebody to do it. Anyway, however, if you dip your paintbrush onto paint, okay, even if it's water-based or whatever, and you try to wash it off, you can never ever restore the brush to the original 100% clean brush, right? It's so difficult. It's the same thing here and with brush. But by contrast, our LumiSpa head on the left, you can see there's no fluorescing material. Clearly, after just pushing on the tab, you can wash it very quickly. So that's a good thing. Because as the brush, even after the one-time use, contains this kind of material, can you imagine after several uses, it will accumulate so much, and in the end, it might even turn moldy. You never know, right? So, the brush technology only cleaned the face. We wanted something more with the LumiSpa, and that is this dual treatment, and we call this dual action to be skin renewal together with the deep cleansing. Because we find, and this is much to our surprise really, so that when we clean our skin in the right manner, you actually, as I mentioned to you, the counter rotation stimulated those skin cells to produce anti-aging protein. It renews the skin. So we have a treatment component to the LumiSpa, which you can never find in a brush technology device. A very significant advantage, right? So when you have skin renewal, you have all these things. You sort of, remove the rough skin. After all, rough skin doesn't look good. And the cell turnover is important. You're starting to, on the surface of your skin tissue, you're bringing more of the young, healthy cells to the surface. And then finally, you're stimulating tired skin. Together, in aggregate, what happens after LumiSpa is obviously your face will look really good, and not just looking good, but it continues to look good because of this skin renewal benefit. Right. So the deep cleansing also, it can purify, clean, and importantly on the pores. And that's important, especially in a hot and humid climate like in the Philippines. Because what happens is the pores has certain glands in it, and they produce sebum. That's an oil. And that oil, if it stays there and not get rid of, it actually will sort of absorb or sort of cling on to any dirt, microscopic dirt, that is present on your face. So, and that clogs up the pores. With the LumiSpa, you can deep clean those pores to get rid of that dirt-containing sebum. And it's very gentle, obviously. These are the 5 gels. The most recent gel that we brought out is an acne control gel that can be used with an extra softer head for the LumiSpa. And together, we hope, will help the folks who are a little bit more acne prone, that they can control it better with the LumiSpa, with this new head and gel. So, this first step is easy, right? So it's only 2 minutes. We recognize, and this is more in terms of recognizing the practicality of your morning routine. Because we really didn't feel that no matter how good a device is, that you are going to spend 20 minutes in the morning doing all the things that you need to do. We think 2 minutes is reasonable and it's convenient for you. Yes. To have this LumiSpa incorporated into your daily regimen. So we think that 2 minutes, and after 2 minutes, you're going to get those 7 benefits outlined here. And together, and if you look at all the benefits you get, you're gonna glow. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, that's all those things together, each and every one, when we can improve it with the Lumi Spa, your face is gonna look healthy, and your face is, when a person look at you, will think, gosh, I wish I could look like her. Including the guys, yeah. But, anyway, so that's really what we think the Lumi Spa should deliver to all of you. $20 million to make this Lumi Spa.
Wow.
Not cheap. So you better sell a lot of it. Because without your help, the company is not going to increase the R&D budget. So keep driving towards the 2 million mark if you can. So good. And the reason is because obviously it's those type of scientific studies that we do with the Lumi Spa to prove that it does work, and making and developing. I mean, that silicon material is a unique proprietary material that we had to develop. We just didn't go out and get something off the shelf and say this will work. We had to test a lot of material to be able to find a material that will grip the skin in the presence of gel in the right manner and will give us the desired results, okay? So that's why the development cost is high. And obviously the gels, the ingredients that we put into those gels are ingredients we have to research and test and be able to demonstrate they have anti-aging benefits. I showed you two colors. You guys got the black one, right? Yes. You got a pink, black? You had it, right? Yeah.
Limited.
They take it away from you. It's limited time offer only, right? Yes. Whoa, yeah. Did you launch the pink one? Yes. Yeah. The black, yes or no? Make up your mind. Yeah. Anyway, the black one is, the reason we came up with the black one is for the guys. Yeah. Some guys actually prefer the pink one. Like that guy over there. Yeah. So we thought we'd bring it out. In Hong Kong, when you go visit your friends in Hong Kong, you should. They have one that has Hello Kitty on it. Yeah. I mean, it's the craziest thing, right? I mean, why would you put Hello Kitty? I guess it's pretty popular. Yeah. Whatever, to each his own, as they would say. There's no accounting for taste. Okay, so these are the ones. And so here's our latest edition. I think it's going to be launched over the next couple of days, or maybe even tomorrow. Yeah? Tomorrow. Yeah, so get up bright and early. I have to get up at 4 in the morning to go to the airport to talk to our leaders in KL. So you have to get up at the same time as me. No, you better stay in bed so the traffic won't be so bad. So, anyway, this Lumi Spa accent, there's a reason why we did the Lumi Spa with a detachable head. Because even back then, 5 years ago, we knew that if we somehow can take the head off, we can put something else on it. This is an example of that prediction. Because, yeah, thank you. So, what we wanted to see, frankly, is that, or realize, is the skin just directly below your eyes. That's a very sensitive part of your skin. It's very thin. So, and it can be easily irritated, but more importantly, anything that you do that affects that area tends to show up visibly in a very prominent manner, right? For example, if you go out tonight and you, after this, obviously, hopefully after this event, and you go and drink 12 bottles of San Miguel, all right, tomorrow you're going to have a hangover. And then it's going to show up in your eye area. Unfortunately for all of us, like most people, when they look at you, the first thing they focus on is usually the eye area. So we want to make sure we give you something that can actually help to make those eyes look better, especially the skin around it. So this is the reason why we developed this LumiSpa accent. So it can instantly activate this delicate skin area, reduce the bags, if you will, right? And remove the darkness, sometimes the black, the cooling of the water retention there below the eye, called the eye bags, so that you can look much better in the morning. So that's the purpose of it. And these are just an example of the result of what you get before and after with the LumiSpa accent. It's a quick one, around about a minute or so, but you can use it up to 2 minutes if you will. But an important thing is not just about the rotation of this particular accent, it's also important to apply the gel onto the eye area or the skin below your eyes and have it before you start using the LumiSpa accent. So this is the clinical study that we conducted. So fundamentally, that LumiSpa accent, is an addition to, I would call the LumiSpa family. I did say I'm going to tell you something more, right? Yeah. Okay, so it's not the end of it. So we have certain ideas that we can do, for example, going forward. You have a galvanic spa here, which many of you have used, right?
Yes.
So maybe one day you might be able to see a galvanic LumiSpa. So it might be something that we can do to combine the two technologies together. So that's something we can look at. So there are lots of things we can still do looking forward. And one day, on the skincare products, we'll be looking at the ability to sort of give you a really personalized experience. And that is, all I have to do is to take, because our age log is all based on genetic activity, right? So the age log it all. So I think we have learned enough, and over a few years from now, we are able to have enough information that I'll be able to determine your genetic profile and give you the perfect product, skin product for you to use. All right, each and every one of you. So there will be slight variation. So that's the type of innovation that we'll be looking at going forward. And at the end of the day, what does it all mean, really, as far as Nu Skin is concerned? Many people have said, well, why do Nu Skin? And you may have heard of this, because it's such an old company. It's more than 35 years old. It's no more a ground floor opportunity. And that's the reason why we continue to innovate, is to put that sort of rumor to rest that Nu Skin renews itself constantly through innovation. We renew it through product innovation. We renew it through opportunity innovation. You have your velocity. That's an innovation. Okay? So we continue to innovate in such a manner just to make sure that unlike a ground floor opportunity, we don't rely on just being a new company and that's good enough, because being a startup, brand new company, how do you know if we, or in Nu Skin, you're all expected to devote your blood, sweat, and tears to do the business? How do you know that a so-called ground floor opportunity can actually pay you? You never know. By contrast, Nu Skin is a publicly traded company, has been around. There is an advantage to be around for close to 35 years. And that is, we have never ever not have a check bounced in Nu Skin. That's the least a company can do for you if we expect a partnership to work. We deliver on that side, you deliver on the other side. Because without you, as I mentioned at the very beginning, there is no marketing of Nu Skin. There is no sales organization in Nu Skin. You are what Nu Skin is. So with that, I think, we will start just another example. So thank you for now. And I think I've spoken too much, and perhaps I'll stop here and somebody will come out and entertain you.